X-Men.
Good day, Moral Gamers! Welcome to our review of X-Men. This is X-Men the arcade game. This is coming to you from PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. So how does X-Men the arcade game stack up? Let's find out. X-Men the arcade game is what it is. It is a direct port of the old X-Men arcade game from the early 1990s, which was based on a late 1980s X-Men series called Pride of the X-Men, which actually kind of blew. It didn't really make as good of a transition or splash as the early 90s X-Men did. So, Pride of the X-Men, or the X-Men arcade games we're looking at, is a beat 'em up. And this particular game allows you to walk through levels, beat the living daylights out of anything that moves except your friends, which is nice, and that's how you win. It takes about 45 minutes, which was common for most arcade games back in the day. They wanted you to munch quarters but not spend entire days just sitting at one console. They want to get people milled through there for more quarters. So the way they do that is in the US version, there's two versions of this by the way. The US version has it where your mutant ability consumes your life bar. Every time you use it, you'll consume a portion of your life down to, when you have little or no life left, you start using mutant like tokens, little crystals that kind of appear. I'm not exactly sure what they are, but they're little blue dots that appear underneath you. And when those are gone, you have absolutely no mutant left. The Japanese, on the other hand, which is the other half of this game, is the opposite, where you start out using the blue dots, the blue mutant crystal tokens, whatever they are. And then when you're done with those, then you'll start consuming your life bar by using your mutant ability. What makes the Japanese version easier, though, is that items will drop every time you beat certain enemies. When they drop, you can repower up your health, you can get another mutant crystal, doesn't matter. Since this game does not have any limit on continues, you'll see that we're using our mutant abilities quite a bit. I mean, if you want to speed through the game, that's the way to do it. It's not like the old arcade where you actually had to pay every time you lost. Also, I'm playing on Expert, which on Expert, it means that you do not get multiple lives. You only get one shot at the game, and then you have to slugger again for another quarter. Arcades never did this. They usually put it on normal where you get 2 lives, but hey, I'm going for a trophy. I like some of the notable villains in here, like Pyro, Juggernaut, even the Blob makes an appearance. And of course, at the end of every X-Men game, why wouldn't you fight Magneto? It works, but then they throw in weird villains like Wendigo. Who the heck is Wendigo? I have no clue. And then they have this guy here who looks like some weird... He's not quite Apocalypse. What the heck is he? So you just gotta deal with it. You just gotta go through, kick the crap out of him. Hey, it works. What I don't like about the game also is that it has aged very poorly. If you look at it, it looks like early 90s. If the game had been made in 2001 or something, it probably would have had a 3D look. But the main problem here is that Konami did not get the rights from Disney Marvel to remake this game like they did from Image with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Turtles in Time remake. They redid Turtles in Time in HD and it looks beautiful. This is exactly what you'd find back in the day when we were still looking, oh hey, we got a Super Nintendo, it's rad, fresh new graphics, man, dude. And it is what it is. You just take it as it is and go with the flow there. Aside from that, though, if you're playing on the Xbox, you're kind of getting screwed a little bit here because you cannot do 6 players hot seat. You can only do 4 on the Xbox, whereas the PlayStation 3 allows you to do 6 players at one console. You can either get a few more controllers in there wirelessly, or you can toss in maybe, let's say, a USB hub. On the other hand, though, this game does offer a very superb online play. It's rather seamless using... I have a 15 meg connection, so it's not that bad. And as you can see here, I have a few people who have joined me, and we're just kicking some serious tail. So do I recommend this game? Well, it's a $10 buy. For 10 bucks, it's fun. It's one of those games that you probably will keep on your hard drive. It's about 120 meg or so. So it's a very inexpensive game space-wise, and you'll probably just keep it on your hard drive for a while and pick it back up every once in a while as a party game. It's great for that. Do I recommend it from a moral standpoint? It is a beat 'em up. You're going to have a lot of violence. It's comic book violence again. It's not that big of a deal in my opinion, but if you're opposed to quasi-martial arts violence and the use of new abilities or powers that may or may not be considered sorceries, in that particular case you may want to steer away from this game.
Alas, that was Mystique, not Magneto. Magneto is in another place. Go, X-Men!